Making a quick video on how to make a cable transfer case shifter and delete the factory electronic transfer case actuator motor. So I just took apart the factory transfer case motor, just smashed the gear off of this spline shaft, it goes into there, and then make up a piece of steel with a bronze bushing. Doesn't have to be that fancy, but anyway, that's the same dimension as the back of this. So got a groove in here for a snap ring, and got a washer. So I'll throw that together and show you. Put the snap ring on with a shim behind it so the snap ring doesn't eat into that bronze bushing. That kind of just goes on there. There is one spline missing, so it is got to index that accordingly. And yeah, it's got the plate bolted on. So you don't really need a heim joint on here. I just had one laying around. There's enough movement in this cable that it shouldn't bind on the throw. This is a 3/4 inch heim joint. Just made a bushing, dropped that down to 5/8. It's actually a metric cable. Doesn't really matter. Whatever you can find. M16. That's an M6 thread. Anyway, this arm, this cable only has a 1.4 inch throw. So I made this arm 0.9 inches center to center long. Just kind of marked it out on here. So if that's center, and this distance from there to there is I did 1.3 inches, just a little extra room. One kind of eyeballed it, that's 1.3 inches. So then this length will be 0.9 inches. So that's what I made the center to center hole length being. And then just kind of eyeballed it where that needs to be tack welded. And yeah, I'll put it together and show you. Okay, I got it bolted together and adjusted. One thing I forgot to mention is I cut that groove in that snap ring. So this is fully bottomed out in the spline, and there's no axial play with the shim and that snap ring. You don't want this flopping around. Also, adjust it or weld it in the correct position, so there's always a little bit of an angle. You don't want it kind of straight, because then you won't have any leverage to, when you go to push the knob, you won't have any leverage to kick that out if it's over center. So anyway, got a knob on here. Push with one hand. There you go. That is 4-wheel drive. You pull it for 2-wheel drive. And yeah, nothing to it. And then if you want an indicator light to know if you're in 4-wheel drive, this gray connector, normally open in 2-wheel and closed in 4-wheel drive. So yeah, there you go. I'm gonna pack this full of grease and take this back off and put some grease behind there to keep the water out, but besides that, good to go. One last thing I forgot to mention. This is only for 2 high and 4 high. 2 high and 4 high is about 90 degrees of rotation. So if you want 4 low or neutral, I just use a pin that clips around that. So that'll be 2 high, 4 high, neutral, and 4 low. So it's almost a complete 360, and you can't really do that with a cable. So, and then how often do you really need 4 low? Just climb underneath and pull that pin and rotate that. And yeah, there's enough room with the heim joint. Not a big deal. So yeah.